everyone, it's Ashley here. I had a great conversation with my accountability partner today, and one of the things we were talking about was capturing content ideas. So what I thought I would do is make a quick video and share how I'm doing it, and hopefully you find it useful, hopefully you find it helpful. I'm using Notion to do it. So this is the finished product here. This is what it's going to end up looking like, but we're going to go from scratch. We'll start out and make a new one. Hopefully you have some basic familiarity with Notion. I'll touch on a few of the basics, but I'm going to try and be really whipping through this quickly to stay tight on time. Getting started, this is what you're going to see when you first come into Notion. So let's just create a new page. Open that as a page up here, top left. I like working with full pages in Notion, so full width. So we're going to go there and change that. Let's call this ship 30 for 30 content idea generation. Okay, let's have a little fun with this. Let's put an icon. I use the Windows PC, so I use the Windows key plus and period to open up emojis. So I got a couple of those in there. Great. Let's set our background. So we add cover here, and you can change cover. Let's go to Unsplash and look for ship. And lo and behold, we got a few choices here. I like this one, so I'm going to go with that one over there. And so we're rocking and rolling here. Okay, so let's get into the building the table itself. So what's really cool about this, and what I find useful about it, is I can work on this on my PC, and on my iPhone I can set up a shortcut. So one button tap, I go straight to this page, and then I can tap again and start putting in content ideas. So it's really easy to capture on the go. I don't know if it sort of fulfills the use case of the shower. I wouldn't recommend taking your iPhone in the shower, but with this technology, who knows, maybe it'll work. But for most use cases between your PC and your phone, you're able to capture your ideas and you're able to put them all into one place. So let's start out by making a table. So the syntax in Notion is you do slash and then start typing, and then you'll get this menu that pops up here. I'm going to go with table. We're going to call it content ideas. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to add a few columns here. So the first column is going to be topic or title. And that's going to be title. That's kind of, it is what it is. In Notion, that first column is pretty specific. The second one is going to be category. I'm going to explain these shortly. I'm going to first put them in there, then actually get into them. The status of that piece, that we want to be multi-select as well. I know I skipped over that in the last one. You have a bunch of different options here. The one we want here is multi-select. I like another column here where I might make a couple of notes on the ideas for the essay, what I might want to do in the essay itself. Okay, you may want to add another couple of columns if you want to describe what kind of essay it is, sort of along the lines of those sort of idea, the type of essay it is it a mistakes, a top 10, how to, that kind of thing, and then what perspective you're writing from. Go ahead and modify that as you want. This is what I found that hits that balance between not too little, not too much, kind of Goldilocks-ish. Okay, let's go to category now. So these are the three content buckets. For me, the content buckets are learning slash memory, and then you hit enter. It becomes one of the options in there. I'm doing public speaking, and then the third one is productivity. Okay, so I got all three of those in there. Now you want to delete them because this is the way you actually get them in there. Now you can just sort of tap on them or whatever to select them. So under status, there's a few possibilities that I have. One is idea, where it's just a plain straight up idea. One is it's completed. Another option is on deck. And that's probably a good start. We can add more, just so you know, and actually let me just delete that. We can add more in both cases, however we want to go. So let's start with what I did. I did one recently on the Memory Palace. Oops. Memory Palace. That's going to be in the category of learning and memory. So you'll notice as soon as you start typing, it picks up the options. So I hit enter when I find what I want. I tab over to the next one. For those of you who read my essay on my boss taking my keyboard away, you will know I'm a big fan of shortcuts. Even in Notion, I use shortcuts everywhere I possibly can. Status, this is completed. Hit enter once I see it as an option. And then sort of for ideas, why do it? This is what I would have done ahead of time, right? I'm doing it now retroactively to show you what it would look like ahead of time. Why do it? Does it work? And then we'll leave it at that. So now let's do a couple of future possible essays. Let's go with what I'm going to do today, tomorrow, I guess, depending on when you see this. 3 biggest mistakes people. I don't worry too much about capitals here. Make when public speaking. Okay, so that's obviously a public speaking. It is on deck, and then we can pick out here what do I want to say. Now this is going to run a little longer, so what I want to do is I want to just change the column width here, fit to your screen, however you want to do it. Standing still, monotone, and memorizing their speech. You'll have to read the essay to find out what all that means. And then let me give you an example of another category. Excuse me, the wisdom of Navy SEALs. So I'm going to do one on one of the sayings from Navy SEAls that had a really huge impact on me. So I'm not going to get into details of that yet, because for me, this is the one actually that's the most important category, I think. This is ideas. This is going to be the stuff you just dump in and throw in their ideas. Anytime they hit your mind, you're like, oh yeah, that might work. Let me think about that. And you may not do, a whole bunch of them, but what it does is this is your idea dump, the place you put that into. This is one of the kinds of examples that I think are most useful for this. Wisdom of Navy SEALs. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Okay, so that is a productivity one. Whoops. You'll notice if you hit tab before you hit enter, it won't select anything. That's an idea. And I'm going to leave this blank for the moment. So that basically sets up this table as a baseline the way you want it to. I'm going to jump out now and go to my iPhone and show you how you can add to this on the go when you have an idea, when you're lying in bed, when you're on the couch, when you're in traffic, when you're waiting in line somewhere. Okay, see you soon. Okay, so here we go on my iPhone now, and I'll show you how to capture it on the go. I've also preset up one. I'm just going to tap and open that, just to show you what it's going to look like when we're done. So here, as you see, that's the one we just set up. So I'm going to pop out of here, and we're going to go to Safari, and I'm going to show you the what we're going to link to. So this is where we're going to end up. We're going to make a shortcut that takes us to this page, which is the same one that we just made. So we're going to grab and copy the URL, because that's going to become important shortly. So next, let's go to shortcuts. We're going to press and hold. We're going to tap Create Shortcut. So you're going to add action. We're going to tap Web there on the right, and then Open URLs. Well, now here's where we use that URL. We paste it into place there. That's where this shortcut is going to take us once we tap on it. We're going to put a name in. I'm going to call it Ship New, so we don't get it confused with the one that I originally made for demonstration, which I opened a moment earlier. So we're going to tap it again and go Details, because what we want to do here is add it to the home screen. It's going to ask us for a name. We're going to keep it the same, not change anything, and we're going to press Add. As we can see, it's added to the home screen. So now we're going to go check it out. So there we see Ship New, the one that's in green. We're going to tap that, and lo and behold, we come to the table we just created. So now it's really easy to input a new idea. So let's see, what should I put in here? We'll put something like best productivity books. As you can see, my typing skills on my iPhone are really quite spectacular. Here we go. We're getting there. Sorry. Okay, so we got the title in there. We're going to tap the category, productivity. We're going to throw a couple of ideas in there. Maybe we'll start with one. So one of the first books I've read that was super impactful for me was Atomic Habits by James Clear. This is one that I think many people will know about. But it was really, really useful for me. So we'll use that as one of them. I'll leave it at that for the moment. So now we're going to tap Idea under Status, and we could put more in there if we wanted. We'd actually just initiate new stuff in there, but let's stick with what we got. So we now got Idea.
We're going to go back to through the breadcrumb to get to the main page we had before. And we'll see here we have the new productivity or the new idea in there, best productivity books. So what you see is you can add stuff on the fly very quickly, very easily by tapping from your home screen. Hopefully you found this interesting, useful. I really like it. This is how I do it. Click like and subscribe.